Okay, let's have some fun. So, Kathy, strap yourself in. You haven't experienced me yet.
On the contrary, I listen to the podcast regularly.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So you know.
Yes, I know.
Okay, here we go. Happy Mother's Day and welcome to Two Older Pure Gold, the podcast where Gen X nostalgia gets cross-examined. Each episode, we pull a movie out of the past, something we, or at least one of us, loved, and put it on trial. Because memory is generous, taste is not. To keep us honest, we bring our Millennial and Gen Z co-hosts in. First-time viewers, no nostalgia, no loyalty, just vibes and judgment. And together we debate, is it too old or pure gold? I'm Mathew Stockton hosting today just to shake things up a bit. Owen's in the background, but he's thankfully not speaking today. We've got a newcomer to the show, Kathy. She's with us today, who I'm actually meeting for the first time, and she's representing Gen X moms, which feels appropriate for this episode. She's also the mother of Evan, who's been on the show a few times. And I do feel the need to say that it's a shame that this is not a video podcast, because you'd all immediately notice that Evan is by far the most handsome guest we've ever had. Kathy, you did a really excellent job there. Well done.
We do our best.
I have a few questions for you. One, would you kill for your son?
I'd kill squirrels.
Excellent. And two, white shoes after Labor Day or not? Has fashion really changed?
Oh, I still think that. Still think it.
Me,
Yep.
Good for you. Me too. Next up, they say the best comedians come from hardship, from struggle, from having to entertain yourself when there's absolutely nothing else going on, which makes our next guest exceptionally qualified and funny, as he's originally from Saskatchewan. Welcome, Josh Flemming.
Hey, thanks for having me back. Apparently not the best looking guest, but that's fine. I'll get over it.
You're second best, Joe. And representing Gen Z or Gen Z, we've got Nicole. She works in childhood education, loves dogs, and has the kind of clarity that usually makes the rest of us rethink what we just said. Nicole, welcome.
Wow, I feel so special.
Today's movie is Serial Mom, and I need to say up front that I forced Olin to let us do this one. This is by far my favorite comedy of all time, which says a lot about me. Probably none of that is especially reassuring. This is director John Waters' most mainstream film, and that's a relative term. Waters, if you know him, is a patron saint of bad behavior, a filmmaker who built a career on bad taste and then turned it into art. He used drag and transgression and suburban hypocrisy and didn't just poke fun at it, but celebrated it through movies like Mondo Trasho, Multiple Maniacs, Pink Flamingos, and Polyester. And here he does something interesting for us Waters fans. He wraps all of that into something that actually kind of looks like a normal movie. It stars Kathleen Turner as Beverly Sutphin, the perfect suburban mom who just happens to be a serial killer with very strong opinions about etiquette. Sam Waterston plays her husband Eugene, a dentist, steady, polite, and completely out of his depth. Ricky Lake plays daughter Misty, obsessed with true crime, which feels a little on the nose. And you've got Mathew Lillard, his very first movie as son Chip, video store clerk, horror nerd, and basically the audience.
Was this his
surrogate.
very first movie?
Yes,
That's
it
crazy.
is. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And of course, we have some of Waters' regular troupe members, including one of my favorite actresses, Mink Stoll, as Dottie Hinkle. The tagline for this movie was, "Every mom wants to be wanted, but not for murder one." Others through the years included, she's fabulous, loving, caring mother who happens to be a serial killer, and perhaps my favorite, at least she meant well. You got to say that with sort of a Midwestern, at least she meant well, right? IMDb describes this movie as she's the perfect all-American parent, a great cook and homemaker, a devoted recycler, and a woman who will literally kill to keep her children happy, which I think is a bit off. I think she kills because she gets annoyed. Before we get into this movie, for those of you in the listening audience that have not seen the movie, Olin asked his 92-year-old mom, Hank's wife Greta, to watch Serial Mom and to give a plot summary of the film.
Serial Wife is the story of a perfect suburban housewife who is also a serial killer. The first incident happens when Mom is called for a meeting with the school principal, who is concerned about a movie she lets her son watch. Mom is irritated by the principal's criticism and just decides to kill him. Half a dozen similar murders happen in short order, and soon investigators start to come to the house. At first, the family is supportive of Mom, not believing that she's capable of murder. But gradually they become suspicious and actually even scared. As the investigation evolves, many extremely funny incidents happen. What stands out to me is the dozen or so police cars following the family on their way to church on foot. The cars drive slowly, like in a funeral procession, and all this is reinforcement for Mom's arrest and the consequent murder charges. Mom defends herself in court and is acquitted. It's a funny movie with wonderful characters.
I love that she sounds like she likes this movie. Funny movie with wonderful characters. Josh, I want to know what you thought about this first.
Well, sorry, that was Olin's mom, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm just convinced that the podcast should be Olin's parents because they're both great at this. But
They'd probably do a better
They should
job.
have a podcast. It would be awesome.
I would listen to that one for sure.
The Hank and Greta show.
I really love this movie. I wasn't aware of it either. I guess I don't really know a lot of John Waters' works. I know of John Waters. I see him on a lot of stuff that I watch, and especially watching like Drag Race. Obviously, he'd be on there a lot, but he was great, and this movie was so good. I thought it was very funny. I was excited to see young Mathew Lillard and young Ricki Lake. I'd never really seen lots of her acting work, so that was nice. But I had some real laugh out loud moments for sure.
Good. I'm so glad. You're a comedian that I respect, and this is my favorite comedy. So I wanted to hear from you on this one. Nicole, tell us what you thought.
I loved it. I've always wanted to see
good.
it because John Waters is very iconic, especially for the queer community. But it was such a brilliant concept, and I feel like it was executed perfectly. It was so funny. And ridiculous.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad it translates for you as well. And Kathy, what do you think?
Yeah, I went in cold. I didn't know John Waters. I didn't know anything. Olin just said, "Do you want to do this?" And I'm a big fan of the podcast. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I was surprised at how much I could relate to. Not sure I should admit that or not, but I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I recognize that. But I also really loved how he kind of pulled in other elements. Like I found myself being like, oh, that's like this movie, or that's like that movie. And there was like when you recognize and see familiar things in it, it just kind of makes it even more relatable.
Yeah. I mean, Kathy, if you saw the movie Hairspray with John Travolta.
Oh yeah.
John Waters actually did an earlier version of that with Ricki Lake and Debbie Harry.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So it might be fun for you to see that, and those are probably two of his most mainstream movies. The majority of his other movies, his earlier work, had Divine, the drag queen, as the main character. It's Divine was and he were like great friends. So you might want to go back and check out some of the other films. What question, Nicole? Who's your favorite character?
I mean, I really liked Beverly because it was so funny, but I also just kind of like Chip. I have a soft spot for Chip.
I thought you would because you're a bit of a horror nerd as well, aren't you? Yeah, and you kind of understand Chip a little bit, right? He's a good guy. Yeah.
And I love that actor as well because I've seen him in so many things.
and I think he's very funny.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And Josh, did you relate to any of the characters?
I mean, I had a soft spot for, what's his name, Scotty, the friend,
Yeah.
who I felt bad for, just an entire family walking in on him alone in his room at night, trying to enjoy a film. That's too bad. And then just like all his antics I thought it was very funny that like his biggest crime was he didn't wear a seatbelt. And then when he was pleading with her at the end, like, but I wore my seatbelt. Like that was, I thought he was really good.
And Kathy, you say you can relate to Beverly Stockton a little bit?
Oh yeah, the moms have so many personalities. I don't know if you know this, but like we adapt pretty well, and so there was so much I could relate to in her.
That's hilarious. And what do you guys think what were the best parts, the best segments of the movie that stood out for you?
I mean, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, so much of it. I was watching this movie and I took like 2 pages of good notes and I only wrote down 2 bad things and I was searching for them. So there was just so much that I loved about it.
I think I had one of those times. I know I've done this before in the past, but I didn't really get a lot of notes today because I kind of enjoyed it the whole way through, and I didn't really want to take breaks and pause. But I think what stood out to me, and I could be wrong on this, but I think what I took from it a lot is like, I love in movies where they present this some people's idyllic point of view of how life used to be, and wasn't it great? But I mean, surely there were so many people back then bubbling under the surface, and like to me, I just thought it was a funny way to show that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and I think that's John Waters' films. It's almost what he did on all of his movies was to to question what is normal and who gets to say what is good taste and not good taste and what really happens on under the veneer, under this like suburban American veneer. And I think he does it brilliantly. I mean, my favorite scene, I think, was the leg of lamb murder.
So good.
To Annie, and I'll give a little bit of movie trivia. The owners of that recording of The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow didn't really want him to use it, so they charged. So they're like,
okay. I had a question about this.
So they were like, okay, you have to pay us $60,000, thinking he'd say no, and he paid it.
Yes.
Worth it.
Awesome.
Absolutely
worth it. You couldn't do it without that song.
That's
and
so fun.
I liked that in that scene she took the time to give the dog lots of pets and kisses before she went to murder his owner.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of my favorite lines is rewind after after she does it, right?
Yeah, that's very interesting about the Annie, because I did have a question about it, because the person was watching it was like, how did they get the rights to this at that time? I had no idea. So very interesting.
Yeah. They tried to make it so expensive he wouldn't do it, but he did it anyway.
I love that.
Yeah, and I think my other favorite scene is the masturbation scene, because how much he's going at it.
Over the top of it is, yeah.
And it's every teenage boy's like nightmare to be walked in on when you're doing that.
Well, and it makes sense that it had to be over the top because they're also trying to make it seem like he's getting murdered to the family, So I thought that was great. Yeah.
And Kathy, I think the one thing that you alluded to is that you found interesting maybe was it's not the big things, but it's those tiny, irritating, everyday violations where you think I could just murder somebody for doing that.
Do a whole one of those just at the airport. Anything doing at the airport, I want to murder people over all the time.
I love that she was harassing Dottie for weeks just because she took a parking spot from her.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, the flashback was fun. That was good.
You got the phone calls were so funny, and the joy she was getting from it, the way she was kicking her feet and giggling while she was doing this voice on the phone to harass this poor woman.
I love the contrast, the way that they pull in those pieces. Like my favorite part was when they're sitting at the dinner table and she learns something from one of the family members and runs out, and they're all kind of sitting at the dinner table like, where'd mom just go? And then the daughter gets up and reads on the little like communal note board, gone to the store.
just
You always leave a note to let people know where you're going.
even though you
dinner table.
just stand up and run. What are some of the pet peeves that you think you eat, not in reality, but in your head, you want to murder people over, Kathy, in life?
Well, right now I mentioned the squirrels. That's there's a big.
Are the squirrels driving you
There's
crazy?
a big squirrel saga in my life right now. No, I would say things I'd like to murder people over. You're not gonna like use this later in a criminal trial, right?
Not unless you actually do it.
I think you can get out of it if you defend yourself in court.
Yeah, I mean, she did a stand-up job. I love that the clincher was, "Do you recycle?" And then when they said no, everyone was like aghast.
Yeah,
It was incredible that not recycling got a bigger reaction from the court than 6 murders.
That was the clincher. Like,
I don't recycle.
We should kill him.
It's so funny. Any sort of worst parts for any of you guys? Nicole, you said you looked and I didn't have any because I love this movie so much, but
I mean, Beverly could have tried a little harder to cover up the murders.
Yes, that
like
was
she didn't even give the fire poker a little wipe off. She just left it covered in blood and gave it back to its owner.
yeah. That was me too. I'm like, you're so smart. How do you? And you've like actually researched these serial killers and behind your bird book. How do you not cover yourself up better?
Yeah, that was fun. But I think her smart showed itself in the way that she dismantled every opposing person on the stand. I thought that was great.
She could read each
awesome.
person and be like,
Yeah,
gotcha.
like knew their weak point. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was also one of my favorite things, was mouthing "fuck you" to the
Yes!
witness while they're on the stand.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like rage baiting, but back then.
Yeah.
rage baiting in court. Nicole, do you think you could represent yourself in court as well?
No.
No.
No. I mean, I could try. I don't know the laws well enough.
No, you just have to know how to rage bait. That's all.
Okay, then I could do it.
Have you ever been in court? Any of you? Have any of you ever been in court?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I was the victim though. So yeah,
that's nice.
I was the victim. I had a knife pulled on me.
Josh is like, yeah, not for me.
I had a knife pulled on me in high school.
Listen, it's Saskatchewan. Some people say getting a DUI is a rite of passage. All right, it happens.
I figured that's what it was.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Cruising through the wheat fields after a few beers, right? Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you didn't crash the tractor.
That's Olin. Was it a tractor?
It was not a tractor.
At what age did you first drive a motorized vehicle, Josh?
I technically stole my sister's car when I was like 13, I think.
Okay.
Took it for a couple of joyrides. Not good.
My-
Not a good moment either.
My grandmother
Just going
would
through all
let
my crimes here.
my grandmother would let my 10-year-old brother and I take the old pickup truck down the road to my great grandmother's house at 10. At 10.
Wow.
Did that? Yeah, that's
Isn't that
That's
hilarious?
awful.
yeah.
Okay.
My only genuinely bad part was the things that woman said to her dog when she was trying to watch Annie.
Yeah, that was kind of gross.
I will say
It was disgusting. I don't even really want to say it, but I will.
The
if anyone doesn't remember it.
lick my toes, that one.
get him wet.
No, she said,
Get 'em
"Come
wet."
on, lick mommy's feet, get them all wet."
And then she laughs and throws her head back.
It was so gross.
I guess
Disgusting.
the only bad part I had, I think they were intentionally done by the director, which makes sense to get the. But I hate when people eat gross in movies. It makes me want to die.
The chicken.
Yeah, the chicken was disgusting,
Yeah.
but it made me also want those people dead. So I was happy about that. And
I
then,
thought you were going to say it also made me want chicken.
no. And then the dentist, all the dentist
Yes.
stuff too. That's the drilling and the awful.
You know what? Now that I hear you putting these all together, because I had all those things listed too, I'm like, ooh, it's more like the cringeworthy moments that drive you over the edge. Like there's just pocketed throughout the movie.
And I think it's deliberate. So job well done. So,
Well, you know what? If they didn't want to be murdered, they shouldn't have forgotten to brush their teeth.
Consider yourself lucky because in one of John Waters' films, Divine eats dog poo.
yes.
So this is a mainstream movie. So eating chicken grossly is nothing compared to some of his earlier movies. Okay,
Can I just add one more? That
absolutely.
The garbage men allies that she
Oh.
had.
Oh yeah.
They
Right
were
on the
great.
nose. They were
them.
like, you know what? Somebody ought to kill her. Like they just put it right out there, and she's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when she actually killed people, they were like, "Yeah, we'll help. We'll find evidence in the garbage for you."
I like those two garbage.
They were
My dad
great.
was a garbage man. I like those two garbage men. They were pretty
Gotta
cool.
love Gus and Sloppy.
Gus and Sloppy.
That's right.
Well written names.
Let's talk favorite lines, and I think there are so many for me. I just have one word to say to you all: pussy willows. Kathy, tell us some of your favorite lines.
Oh, I had so many. I'm gonna have to narrow it down. I liked when they were when she was calling the police I'm getting prank phone calls, and she says, "I'm a divorced woman. Please help me." I was like, what? What? And then when they're in the car doing the procession to church, and the husband is like beside himself trying to figure out what has happened to his lovely wife, and he goes, "Is it menopause?" I was like, oh, that's a dangerous question, especially at our age.
Especially if your wife's already on a murder spree.
Oh yeah, you
and-
don't ask
and you-
that.
But you,
Bring your hormones into it.
but you could also go, yeah, actually, perhaps, because I want to rage kill people as well, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not wrong, but it's just not something you ask.
He killed people, Mom. We all have our bad days.
Yes. That's good. I really liked one of mine that stood out was when her son said shit, and she's like, "You know how I hate the brown word." That I thought was good.
Yeah,
Also,
Chip's
I
like,
really-
I'm so happy I could shit. Chip, you know
Yes.
how I hate the brown word.
That was great. And I also really loved at the end, at the trial, when they were selling the books, and the one lady was like, "Can you sign it to a future serial mom?" I thought that was good. Like, she's already anticipating going crazy and killing people too.
Yeah, and then the woman behind her went, "I have a few people I'd like to kill."
That's awesome.
I like the only cereal I know anything about is Rice Krispie.
So innocent. So innocent.
And I liked when they went to arrest her and they said, "Be careful, she's armed and fucking nuts."
Oh, I had that one too.
Also, I really loved, I know we shouted out some character names and stuff, but I think Nasal Rod might be one of my favorite character names of all time as the lawyer.
Nasal rod.
That's great.
What about Mr. Pickles?
Mr. Pickles is good.
Mr. Pickles and Nasal Rod. I do think, though, my favorite line, because I've been using this ever since I've seen this movie, is, "No, please, fashion has changed."
Yes.
No, it hasn't. Whack.
Yeah.
If you're that woman, wouldn't you just be like, "I won't wear them. I'll take them off now. I didn't know."
So
Why
funny.
would you defend it when she's hitting you with
Yeah.
a phone?
And I think what's
Because she was a
interesting
fan.
is,
She believed her.
what's interesting is who the woman who's playing that role, and I'll get to that later, which makes that line even more hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah. So actually, why not talk about it now? So that woman, and the younger audience might not know. So juror number 8 was played by Patty Hearst.
Oh.
So the publishing heiress, and from one of America's richest families, who was kidnapped by the far left Symbionese Liberation Army and ending up helping them rob banks with a machine gun. She was sentenced, but eventually given a presidential pardon because she has a rich daddy. So, of course, John Waters cast her as a juror in Suburban Baltimore, right? That's what he does.
Well, speaking of that, I kind of thought it was funny because I thought Mathew Lillard, after during the trial days, I thought he kind of adopted that look with the beret and stuff. I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of a reference to that as well.
Maybe a bit of a homage. And
Yeah.
while we're on it, let's talk about, do you guys notice any other people that aren't necessarily actors that were in this film?
Who was the receptionist at the dentist's office? Because I feel like I recognize her from something, but I couldn't place it. Maybe I'm off.
Not sure.
No?
Well, Tracy Lords, the porn star,
Oh,
was in
yes,
this,
right. Her I'm familiar with.
What's his name's girlfriend, and Joan Rivers is briefly in it. If you capture her,
talk show.
Yeah, I saw that.
which was kind of fun. So let's move on to, and I hope I'm doing a good job here, everybody. Let's talk about how this
Second
movie,
best host.
Let's talk about how this movie actually performed using Box Office Mojo. So Serial Mom is a really interesting one. It came out of the gate quite strong. It debuted at number 11 in the theater. Not bad for a John Waters film.
Okay.
And then it dropped like one of Beverly Sutphin's victims. By the end of 1994, it was sitting at 122nd place in terms of movies. And that's not a slide. That's a disappearance. For context, the top box office earner that year was a movie I've never seen, The Lion King. And number 2 was Forrest Gump. So audiences really were choosing between Emotional Life Lessons and Kathleen Turner Killing People Over Etiquette, and they made a clear choice. I
would much rather watch Serial Mom.
Yes, I knew you were my people. So just so you guys know, I actually judge people in real life on whether or not they like this movie.
Please don't ask me to compare it to Lion King, though.
But if they don't get this movie, they're not my people.
Awkward.
So
it's a good filter.
I basically watched this movie twice yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Because I watched it for this, and then later I went upstairs and I was like, "You guys have got to watch this." And then I made them watch it, and I kept coming into the room to rewatch my favorite scenes.
I love that you guys love this film. It's, when something's kind of precious to you and you really want your friends to like it as well. That's where I am with this one. So
Awkward.
That said,
Get out of here.
Serial Mom did beat a few films, so it outperformed a movie called Surviving the Game with Ice-T and Rutger Hauer.
Ice-T and Rutger Hauer in one movie?
I know.
Sorry, that's surprising.
I know. I was like, when I saw that in the research, I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Can you guys invite me on when you do that movie? Please?
Yeah, I think we should. So, Olin, take a note. Surviving the Game, we have to watch.
Write that down.
Okay. And quite surprisingly, it also beat The Hudsucker Proxy, Clerks, and it actually beat The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. So it wasn't alone in being underappreciated, because those are some pretty good movies.
Sounds like classic Hollywood. They push all the queer movies to the bottom.
I was going to say that. Absolutely, right? And when there is a queer character, this is interesting. I'm going to get to that now. So the Oscar, let's talk awards. So obviously this didn't win an Oscar. The best picture of the year went to Schindler's List, and Olin's favorite actor, Tom Hanks, that year won Best Actor. But he didn't win for Forrest Gump. Which film do you think he won for this year?
Well, I know this one, but yes, he won for Philadelphia.
Exactly. Yeah. Which proves to me that you can only do well in Hollywood as a gay character if you are a victim and dying. Mm-hmm. And while we're on the Oscars, John Waters was asked, actually this month, he's celebrating his 80th birthday, so he's doing lots of media. He's asked if he'd ever want to host the Academy Awards, and he said, of course, yes. And his idea is, he said he'd have Will Smith and Chris Rock present together, both come out of the closet on stage while a film called Sissy Boy Slap Party plays behind them. So Sissy Boy Slap Party, it's on YouTube. Watch it. It's going to fuck up your algorithm. But it's a short film made with province of Manitoba funding. It's a experimental Canadian film, and it's fantastic. And I can picture Chris Rock and Will Smith coming out together in front of that film. Okay, by the numbers, budget and box office. Let's see how this went. So first, a hint. John Waters said in an interview, "I don't know. Can you make all of your money back by just showing it on TV every Mother's Day? Because that's where it ended up." So a little bit of a hint. So Eddie, guess on what the budget was for this film?
I know it was more than 60,000.
I thought it looked really nice. So I thought it was at least what he got. Probably his top budget in his career for. If I had to guess, I'd say like, I don't know, 10 million.
Okay. Kathy, how much do you think this cost?
This is the 90s. I would say less than that. Can I just put like a little less than symbol on that?
Okay. And Nicole?
And you guess?
I'll
You
go
guess?
the other way. I'll do the more than symbol.
Okay, more than. So Nicole wins. It was more than. It was a $13 million budget.
Wow.
Oh, close though. That was
And what did it bring in domestically, guys?
More than that.
I'll say it brought in 300,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna jump in here. It lost money. It brought in $7,820,688. So yes, it lost money, which is kind of amazing because the movie feels like it should have done better in the time. But however, guys, there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It also was released internationally in Australia to help make up the return. And it raked in a grand total of $4,349 in Australia. It's like somebody accidentally left a projector on for a day.
But I imagine this must have done. It's got to be a cult following, right? Like it's probably with DVDs and stuff. I imagine it eventually made its money back.
It became a massive cult hit, massive cult success, and Kathleen Turner in interviews says she's proud of this. She loved playing the character, and it's considered by many one of his best movies.
They should do like an anniversary promotion of it because I think it would do really well now. Like if they promoted it now.
Yeah. It would actually. I don't know what year.
94.
94. So, we kind of missed we'll have to wait to another 4 year.
There's so many moms out there that are like true crime experts and just like love it that they would totally gravitate to it.
That's true. Some movie facts. So this movie takes place in Baltimore. It's actually John Waters' hometown, and in fact, every film he's ever made, he filmed in Baltimore. And that video store in the film is his actual neighborhood video store where he would go and get movies.
Whoa, I love that.
Felt very authentic.
Yeah, the high school where Serial Mom kills the principal was drag queen Divine's high school, who is obviously a close friend of Waters, and he shot that scene at that school as sort of a retribution for Divine having been picked on and harassed his entire time while he's in high school there. And
I love it.
I gave you the juror number 8 was Patty Hearst, which I think is really cool. Woke or joke? I'm gonna ask Nicole first.
I didn't find anything.
No?
I feel like my dad mentioned one thing to me, and I remember being like, Oh, yeah, he said the fact that they brought up Bill Cosby, but I feel like they didn't really talk about him, so it's not enough.
Ghost Dad.
Also, you can't blame a movie around that time for it. That's They could see into the future.
Yeah.
No, I didn't find anything. I thought it was good. I even found things that I thought, were more modern than I expected. Like the daughter wanted to lose weight and the mom was like, well, I don't think you have to, but I also don't think you should do it for a boy. Like do it for yourself if you want to.
Absolutely. I think Waters films, Waters actually transcends this in a weird way, doesn't he? Because all of his films were about who gets to define normal and who says what good taste is, and I kind of like that Beverly is the serial killer flipping the traditional gender role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, a lot of the stuff that I maybe have disliked in other movies, like I would have said, I thought I liked the fact that Ricky Lake's character kind of fell in love with every boy that she came across. Like I didn't find that to be. I don't know. I just thought it was a funny character trait. And then also, even the girlfriend of the guy that she murdered in the bathroom, when she started also flirting with the detective, over top of his corpse, I thought that was hysterical. So, yeah, it didn't really bother me.
She was ahead of her time, actually. Like Dexter, all these kinds of missionary, I'm just gonna take care of business kind of vibe. I think she's well ahead of her time.
Absolutely. It's Didn't you feel bad for the husband?
I was honestly
he
going
was
to
so
say
out of his depth. He
I
was
was
so
gonna
out of
say,
his depth.
kind of a shout out for Sam Waterston, because anything I've ever seen him in, he's always been this like sure-footed, sure of himself detective, or like guy who's like all believes in himself, knows his opinions, sticks to him, and then so to see him in this role where he's kind of like cowering a little bit, I thought was great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yes, I liked all their reactions when she got off, and they were kind of like, "Yay!"
I think.
And he's like turned to them and was like, "What do I do now?" They're like, "Take her home, I guess." I don't know. So funny.
I like that. I like that the daughter said to her new boyfriend, "Just please try not to make her angry."
Yeah, that was good.
You know
It's like she'll kill you.
You know that one scene while she's in the car and she just kind of waves at people.
Yes.
Kathleen Turner just did that on her own, and not until it was screened did John Waters actually pick up on the fact that she did it. And it's like one of those great moments of the film where she's just like, "Hi." Okay, let's go to reviews. However you guys felt about this movie, I promise you there are people out there that felt it more in both directions. On IMDb right now, there's 26 10-star reviews and 12 one-star reviews. And to be honest, I was kind of hoping for more one-star reviews because John Waters' whole philosophy is that good taste is overrated, and loving his films almost feels like rejecting the idea that of liking what you're supposed to like. So let's do a little sampling plate, if we will, of the 10-star reviews. Bernie says that this is a movie that delivers a strong moral message. So there's the legal thing to do and the moral thing to do. Once in a while, they may conflict. Mothers have an instinct for this sort of conflict, and this mother has a unique solution. Only Kathleen Turner as Beverly Sutphin, the mother, can carry this out as the demure, conscious mother that we wish we all had. He's saying
I don't know about all that.
Tiernan Stevenson says, as fun, so his title was, as fun as beating someone to death with a leg of lamb. This film is amazing. I love everything about it. The humor, acting, and writing was all on point. Arguably, both John Waters' best movie and Kathleen Turner's best performance. It is hugely underrated and is a must-see for any Waters-Turner horror comedy fans. Or anyone who just wants to have a fun time. And Lee Eisenberg just said, seriously cool.
Haha.
I know. I like a bad pun. Mm-hmm. And then 1 stars. Okay. So these are fun, guys. Are you ready? Hold on. Mm-hmm. So Jake and John Taylor 1 openings strong with the title Low Quality Piece of Diarrhea, which first of all...
we don't like brown words.
Yeah. I don't like the brown word. First of all, it's a bold critique on quality while spelling diarrhea 3 different ways through the review and not quite landing on the correct spelling with any one of them. He goes on to call it a repulsive crapload of garbage about, quote, an insane woman killing 6 innocent people and getting away with it. Yes, that is the movie. You have successfully understood the plot.
Listen,
Also,
they weren't innocent. Scotty didn't wear his seatbelt.
Exactly.
It's the law.
I don't know. Insane, brilliant. I mean...
Also, doesn't that review invite the fact that there's high quality pieces of diarrhea? Which
yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a particularly good piece of diarrhea. And is diarrhea really a piece of diarrhea?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I was wondering about.
Speaking of Scotty, Kathleen Turner said that the only murders that she felt bad doing in the film when she's acting was the flamethrower at him.
I will say I also thought it was so funny that club was willfully harboring a fugitive. They're like, yay! They're all chanting for her at the end.
Literally burning a teenager alive, and they were like, yeah!
Yeah, and the lead singer even got in on it. She kept the fire going with the alcohol.
And Nicole, how did you like camel lips? Nicole?
Yes! I was going to ask about. I wasn't brave enough, though.
I wasn't a huge fan. but they can do whatever they want.
Was that a cameo, that band, or like I felt like it was funny, but I was missing the joke somehow.
Real musicians in other bands, but yeah, the lead singer's still going. I can't remember her name, but yeah, I love that. And Josh, you can see that happening, right? You can see like everyone going, "F the police! Like, get in here," This guy
it was
also
quite harsh to spit alcohol on a man who's burning alive.
Yeah, that was a bit much. That was the only killing that made me uncomfortable. He goes on to say that this is the least funny comedy he's ever seen, and says that and I love this, he also says it's based on a true story somehow, which I love to know which version of reality he's living in.
Yeah.
Yes, they say it's a true story at the beginning, but it's so obvious, like he does not he does not understand the joke, right?
Well, and then also the line of being like, she did not want to be involved in the film at all. At the very end, that was good.
So John Waters actually said a lot of people think it's like from reality, and he's like, he's like thinks it's so funny.
That's so funny that.
Can we just talk about one other thing I didn't understand while we're on the topic of not understanding? What was the mouse biting on the ankle of the one victim? Was that something? I felt like I was missing something on that one too.
No, I think it was just a mouse biting on an ankle.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that
They
she
just
went for
also
both.
had mice.
Yeah.
Maybe they had mice because they ate so gross and there was food everywhere.
Okay, do you guys want to hear some more?
Sure.
Next up is Ace 0203, which calls the movie, quote, a travesty. And yes, a travesty, and then writes what can only be described as a blathering manifesto before landing on this. Quote, the climax involves Kathy Bates, a once respected actress until her role in this godforsaken movie, takes a fireplace poker, runs into the men's bathroom, skewers his liver, and runs back out of the bathroom. May God of mercy have mercy. Sorry, may God have mercy on the souls of the people who watch this movie. So I'm sorry, I don't take film criticism from people who can't tell the difference between Kathy Bates and Kathleen Turner.
Also, I'm sorry, if you watch this movie and think that's the climax, I'm sorry to tell you,
Right,
you are
right in the
incorrect.
beginning. Everyone knows the climax of a movie is at the start.
We know the climax is the masturbation scene. It's kind of a baseline requirement that you know what actors you're talking about if you're going to review a movie.
Yeah.
And then final review, Martian Okorturtur 5, who, by the way, has never given anything more than 3 stars, so I imagine he has a tough life, calls the movie pointless slop that, quote, fails even lowbrow humor, and then points out what he describes as an idiotic scene with some guy exciting himself. So, exciting himself.
Euphemism.
I think that might be my favorite phrase in all the reviews. Not masturbating, not jerking off, not spanking the monkey, exciting himself like he's just pleasantly surprised.
Like he got himself a present.
He's shocked it's happening somehow. That's great.
Okay, do you guys want to hear from Siskel and Ebert?
I would love to.
What do you guys think? What are the thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm hoping one of them liked it, but I don't hold up.
Yeah, I'm this one too.
I hope someone liked it.
So, this is interesting. Okay, this is
Did
my
they
favorite.
fight?
No, this is my favorite movie of all time. And they both gave thumbs down, but they did it in a way I totally respect them for. Right?
Interesting.
Because what it made me realize is they know John Waters films. So they said, Siskel, John Waters used to make some very edgy, dark comedies with a 300-pound transvestite named Divine. Now he's got a star that's in on the joke. It's not a picture that pushes any edges. John Water with a big star cast loses the edge. He's got to get back to movies that cost $100,000. So even though he's giving you a thumbs down, he's appreciating earlier John Waters films, which I also love. So I'm kind of okay with him doing it because he's kind of going, because if you see earlier John Waters film, they're way edgier, and I really like those ones as well, right? And Ebert says he would have rather had Divine in the role. He said Kathleen Turner is too sympathetic.
I think you want her to be a little sympathetic.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
you?
she's still just a little little mom, like a housewife. But I don't know how I'm trying to phrase it. She's like a sweet housewife mom, and she just also wants to kill people for not following the rules.
What was the tagline, Matthew? I mean, she meant well.
At least she meant well.
I don't think Divine would have been meaning well.
Okay, and let's move on to Rotten Tomatoes. So, can somebody do the math? Because I don't. So, the fact that I owe $20,000 on taxes, I found out this week, says to me I don't understand math at all because it was a surprise. So, Rotten Tomatoes. So, the scores: critic score, audience score. What do you guys think? I'll start with Nicole.
I'll go like a 65 and a 70.
So, 65 for critics, 70 for audience.
Yes, I always do it in the order that we are asked. Because I respect the rules, Matthew.
And you want to murder me when I don't.
And I should kill you.
Rewind!
Be kind, rewind.
Recycle.
And I'm gonna go Josh next and let Kathy decide if she wants to Price is Right it or not. But
I feel like this is Rotten Tomatoes, sorry, you said, right?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, critics, though, right?
Critics first.
I'll say critics. I'm going to go like 40%. I'll say audience is a little higher. I'll say it's like 75.
Okay. Kath?
I would say I feel I'm closer to Nicole on the critics, like a little 65 in there. But I think the audience is maybe at the time not as high, but if they watched it now, it would go way up. So how does that reflect?
It's like
Is
all
time.
Oh, so I would go higher then. Maybe 70 for the audience.
Okay. Did Olin in the background keep score there?
Yeah, he's doing math.
Great.
I did reveal the score.
Critics was 63 and audience was 72.
Ooh.
So Nicole and Kathy both got a 4, which is a very good score.
Nicole gets it. I just piggybacked on hers.
No, we're a team.
Josh is a 26.
Hell yeah.
From present serial mom to future serial mom. We know the numbers.
Okay, and
This is me one day.
Before we get into plugs, conclusion. I think we're probably going to agree here. Is this too old or pure gold, guys?
Pure gold.
I think I'd go pure gold. Also, I realized another favorite line as we were chatting, but I did love the scene where they were going to the club and Matthew Lillard like, Dad, just try and be cool. Like I thought that was they're flirting for his murderer mother, and that's his that's his
worry.
Can't get embarrassed.
That's so funny.
Pure gold. And Kathy?
Yeah, I'm the same. It actually I think does better now than it ever did.
Great. I'm so happy about that.
After you say your thing, and then I have something to add.
Go ahead.
I just want to say I forgot about one of my favorite lines, which I will be saying every time I get in the car with my partner because he does not wear his seatbelt ever. I'm going to yell, "Wear your seatbelt! It's the law!"
Well, thank you guys. I enjoyed this so much, and the fact that we're going, in this line, in that line, I think says a lot about the movie.
That's good, yeah.
Now, I have in my show notes here, Olin's asked me about plugs. So, Josh, I need to plug you, so I'm going to plug your back door. Perfect. Josh will be appearing at Backdoor Comedy by the Comedy Ring at a secret location downtown on Wednesday, the 29th of April at 8. $15 tickets, which would be deal at twice the price. And they're available on Eventbrite. Am I right, or is that an old post?
No, that sounds right. But I don't even have all that information. So
well, there you go. I looked it up. I looked it up
Appreciate
today
it.
to support you, my friend. And Josh is actually really funny, guys. I've seen him live once, and I might go. You might be able to meet me, even if you don't like Josh.
Please come to shows and meet the audience. That's what I would say.
I might go, Josh. I really enjoyed last time I saw your set. So, do you have new material, or do I have to sit through it again?
Probably same thing. I don't know.
Excellent. No, it's good. It'll be great a second time.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. I think unless I've missed anything, we're out of here.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice
That was
job,
fun.
Matthew.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Woo!
And
Thanks,
in the
guys.
hour, Olin.
That was very fun.
Yeah.
By the way, did I do okay, guys?
You did
Absolutely.
great. That was so much fun.
Good. Yeah, because after like I started doing this, I'm like, holy shit, Olin actually has to do work every time. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Have a good one. Bye. Nice to meet you.